everyone, back after a little while off. My goodness, it feels so weird to be back, but I'm definitely glad I am back. And hello, Turbo, how's it going? So, I hope you're having an awesome day. I know we're about to because I have been itching to get into 7.1. Though on call really mentally screwed me, so I had to take a little longer off than I thought I would. But totally worth it. We got most of the stuff taken care of. And, oh, I forgot to do one thing. There we go. Ah, all better. Alrighty, so we are running no mods today because 7.1 broke my mod manager. And, yeah. We're going to have to wait for them to fix that, but it actually does kind of save us from potential mishaps, shall we say. God, that sounds so bad. But yeah, some of the mods were I would need to manually turn them off, and I forgot which ones I would need to turn off the top of my head. So I'm kind of glad we don't have to worry about that today. But yeah, we are going to get going with Final Fantasy 14 7.1. And depending on how quickly we get done with the patch, I may have some thoughts about it afterwards. And just Endwalker in general, not Endwalker, but Dawn Trail in general. Because I watched a very awesome video on Dawn Trail this morning, and I think it merits some discussion on certain points of view that they had. I'm not saying they're wrong, just that I disagree on certain aspects, but I think the overall sentiment was pretty spot on. But we'll get to that after we play through the patch. So, for this point, spoilers do lie ahead. If you have not played 7.1 yet, this may not be the stream for you. But let's go ahead and get on into it. A royal invitation. We're about to go back to Tuliolal. Nope, here we go. Meow. And we know we're going right back to Solution 9, so I think it's kind of silly to start it in Tuliolal, but there's probably a reason for it. Obigo Messenger? What? Sorry, I see blue, I go to blue. An otherworldly encounter. Oh, it's a dungeon. Oh, let's go. Obigo Messenger's looking for a well-traveled adventurer. Why does it tongue-tie me? Say, aren't you Ray? That certainly saves me a lot of trouble. I was asked to find you on behalf of Milad. Curious happenings abound in Mamuk of late, and we thought one with your worldly experience may be able to help make sense of things. If you have the time and inclination to aid us, she awaits you in Mamuk. You'll find her west of the plaza in the large building near the two-headed statue. Oh, okay. We'll definitely check that out. And it appears we have another blue quest that is level 90. A Blueguard Pelu. Okay, since that's a level 90 quest, and I want to level up all jobs, I'm thinking we start with Dragoon, because they've already got a lot of gear for it. Pelu. Okay, the Blueguard Pelu appears to be lost in thought. We're going to see what he's got to say. Pardon? Maybe beating with her won't be so easy after all. Probably said she'd be around here somewhere, though. Hey, wait for it. What? Ray? The adventurer? The mighty warrior who traveled the lengths and breadth of Tyrol, taking in its myriad sights, sounds, and smells, even those within the otherworldly dome? That savvy haggler who helped the Third Promise acquire a Settleworth Tinpel You're in the thousands column despite starting with a mere 100? This is weird, but okay. My inner Bacchus is clucking away. You're the missing piece I've been looking for. The missing piece of my brand new enterprise, that is. I'm not sure I follow. Sorry about that. I got a bit carried away. I'm just so happy to finally meet you. I'm Liplu, a merchant. Until recently, my business was bedclothes, all woven from the finest alpaca wool. My dear friend Mablu told me all about you. I heard you give her the nudge she needed to embark upon her own journey as a peddler. I can't begin to thank you enough. But I'll get straight to the point. I have a proposal for you today, Ray. How would you like to become a special advisor for the Trailblazing tourism venture? I call it the Tirali Travel Agency. TravelTiral.com. Of course you'll be compensated for your time. You'll also be the first in line for all kinds of treats and trinkets, not to mention a wealth of exciting experiences. Maybe tourtiral.com? You don't have to answer right away, but if any of this has aroused your interest, please come and visit me in Okano. We can go over the finer details there. I'll be waiting for you, along with the rest of my associates. I feel like she's gonna mug us, or he. I can't really tell with the Pelu, I'll be honest. I feel like they're gonna mug us regardless. Society quest. Society? Have they renamed the tribes? I bet they've renamed the tribes. Oh. Reputation. Societal rule. Yep, they've renamed them. They are no longer beast tribes. They are now societies. Okay. That makes sense then. But, anywho. Oh, well, we're not going to Kazuma Aku. The Wandering Minstrel. We're going to talk to him, and I'm guessing that's unlocking some new raids. So we're going to take a look at that before we dive into MSQ. Yeah, I see blue, I get distracted. I don't know why. And I'm talking about the blue quest, not the color blue. It's like, oh look, awesome new thing. Must unlock. Oh, fancy seeing you here in Viper's gear. Have you come here to share heroic yarn with me, Ray? Please do go on. You have my rapt attention. Queen's Eternal, the Minstrel's Ballad, Fiend's Burden. So, what have you brought for me today? The tale of a queen who wanted to nothing more than help her people, but was burdened by all she had to do. The trials and tribulations of Queen Sphene, who was confronted with many a difficult decision as she sought to protect the citizens of her nation, Alexandria. In that realm, people regarded souls as merely a resource, and when they die, the ether of their memories is used to create the endless simulacra of the departed that can only be sustained with the force harvested from the living. Being so very different from what we know, such a way of life is difficult for us to accept. Indeed, it seemed only inevitable that he should come into conflict with Sphene. She herself was not among the living, but an entity brought forth to fulfill a certain objective, and therein, I believe, lay the root of this tale's tragedy. Recreated from the noblest of souls that she was helpless to defy the purpose to which she had been bound, protecting the endless, no matter the cost. Thus did she continue on her destructive path, though she knew it led only to a dead end. A question, if you may, my friend. Deep in your heart, do you believe that the Sphene whom you met was alive? Yeah. So this brings up one of the philosophical questions I think around one of the end zones, living memory. I don't think any of those people were technically alive because he was reconstituted from memories of everyone else. So in a way, I kind of have to say no. There, she wasn't alive. She was a program built from what people remembered about her, not Sveen herself. I see. Indeed, her existence differed greatly from the living. There is no changing that fact. I thank you for your honest answer. I shall take it to heart. For my part, whether or not she was possessed of life, I believe there existed an individual called Sveen who cared deeply for her people, who heard the voices of her people, felt as they did, and thought only for their welfare. That is why, at battle's end, she returned as the gentle soul you knew. Perhaps, perhaps. But here a thought fills me with dread. What if that soul failed to return and the fearsome entity that she had become continued its relentless onslaught? Might it have succeeded in its objective and plundered the life force from other realities at the cost of untold destruction? Of such possibilities shall I sing, that we might give thanks for the path that we were mercifully spared. By golden light two rulers walked, past in conflict lying. One bound to slay, one bound to one sworn to save. They forged ahead, untiring. Memories of departed days endure as fate and fetters. For keepers start a blessed warmth, oblivion for the breakers. God, please don't put that terrible singing. That was awful. I'm sorry. I did not mean to scar you all like that. Well, now that's unlocked. Now, Boruk. A royal invitation. Boruk is eager to hear how you have been getting on. Ah, it is a pleasure as always, Ray. Have you been able to relax lately? What's that? What's relaxing? Sure. Why not? Wonderful. As busy as you have been with the rite of succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliyola at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Zabayav Te is just one way to do so. I'm made of the traditional way, laden with fillings and absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner Brook Ivu will look after you. Hi, KZ. Hello. How is it going? We're just getting started with 7.1. And you missed my terrible singing, so don't feel... So you probably came in at a great time. So, alright. So, we are now getting tacos. Taco, taco, taco. We must get more tacos. Meow. Raul Manjun at Brook Ivu. Well, if it isn't Ray, alone today, are you? Don't rub it in, man. I see, I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Oh, free tacos? I'm down for that. Let's go. Oh, we're gonna sit at this table. The table where all the side quests started for the rolls. Hey, don't give Delta too much credit. I don't think the music could be this good. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many when you turned 5, you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? A gregarious man yelling like that? Are you kidding me? Oh. Not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right. Sorry, it's still strange for me too. Just the other day, you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Yasulani. And now you're a man grown with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you as my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Yeah, until you get to Atlanta. Atlanta's Delta lounges are, yeah, it's Atlanta. Let's be honest. Line, that feels like the only thing I'm doing right now on you and everyone else. I can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button and everything was at our fingertips. But here, I'm helpless. The culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me, God, I never felt so embarrassed. Sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems the life is really difficult within the dome. Really different in the dome. My wife and children, I was thinking I'd have them join me once things are settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. Aw, wholehearted guy. I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems like you're having some trouble adjusting to life into the Orlon. Well, Clement. To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There, you can learn the skills you need to live outside of the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you! The airport? Yeah, it kinda is. Last time I was in that airport, I had like 10 minutes between flights, so I was booking it between gates, dude. Like, if you give yourself less than an hour there, you're asking for trouble. Oh, look who it is. I was just about to go and find you. You don't mind the company, I hope? I could use a bite to eat myself. Sure. Oh, I really hope they did 7.1 a little bit better than they did the core 7.0. 5 minutes? Oh my god, you had to have been an all-out sprint, dude. My god. 10 minutes was pushing it. The tacos here never disappoint. Agreed. So, what have you been up to lately? I'll be honest, I've been kind of... I feel like the making a name for myself in the Arcadian's probably the best one. I feel like that's the best. You got yourself for the Arcadian. Gosh, that heavyweight champion. You're fighting in the arena in Alexandria? By facing its tough opponents? I'd wager you honed your skills even further. As for myself, I'm being kept busy with duties at the palace. But whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way, I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on such a walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Why, pray tell? Hulna and I have something we want to discuss with you. As dawn servants, do you have the time to come to the palace? I guess. Great, I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. Oh, I know that feeling. That was how my flight was. Like, that is the worst, having to book it across the airport. Like, you ride there with like 30 minutes. It takes 10 minutes to get to the gate, another 5 minutes to pull up to the gate and deboard. And then you have 5 minutes to get to the gate before they're starting to do or to close up. And you're like, come on, just go a little quicker. Yeah, I think we'll go to this one. It might be a little closer. Alright, and since we're going to the royal chambers, 5 seconds. Oh, dude, when I got to mine, the doors were actually closed, like straight up. Like, no, like, oh, if you would have been like here like a minute later, you wouldn't have been able to board. I was just like, oh, thank God, and I got to pee before I got there. Oh, that's a cool. Oh, they actually have pretty good ray tracing physics here. Holy crap. What is my frame rate? Let's see. What did I put my frame rate up? Oh. Oh man, I'm almost at 60 FPS. It seems Colin gone somewhere. Sorry. Mistress Ray, it's always an honor. Valcorda has stepped away to attend a pressing matter, but he should join you with him ere long. Sure, we'll hang out for a minute. Meow. Ah, the twins Raha and Kryl. Oh, big. That music suggests it's supposed to be a fairly pivotal moment. KLM's world renowned for like just top tier service and everything they do. The reason they're called Royal Dutch Airlines. Huh, you're all here too? Valcorda summoned us, though, truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeking him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of the Hannish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening our alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Kryl and I are likewise summoned, otherwise we've been carrying on with our work compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Nurianja have left to resume their tour of Tyrol. Ishtola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Colin's promotion and investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. Oh no, not the key. No, leave it alone. If the look she had in her eyes any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You'd like to be stuck with her for a while. Can he stuck with Ishtola for a while? I can live with that. As for Astidian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. That's Astidian. corner. My apologies for the delay. The whole unworthy mini apartments where you can rent for your flight as long as it has a long layover is canceled. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I read, I think I saw a video on their 747s where you could buy like souvenir towers and stuff. And there was some person who had like a collection of just about all the ones they have available, which took a while. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully the present company is enough for whatever it is you need. He pushed up his glasses, that's what I would do. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Goluja and his administration have invited us to attend. That's awkward. Well, certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yasulani. I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth a proposal that the Queen be thus honored. The mini cat looked more like say the mini cat like my actual model, or are we talking about Book Lamont here, or are we talking about my character? The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for our people. The pain of her passing must run deep. So, my character in the game, or are we talking about Wook Lamont? Oh, a Kryl. Indeed, a funeral will give Alexandrians a chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Goluja, but to put this chapter behind us. I wonder how much time has passed in Solution 9 since that battle. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. I don't think she was real, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I think it would be inappropriate for me to go personally. Me just considering that I did kind of take her down. I think they might not take kindly to that. I have mixed feelings about this dialogue. Because both of those would be something that I would say realistically in this situation. Now, I wonder though. Yeah, that's all I'd be. I'd be reflective at this point. What if that was another way? You and me both. But we made our choices and are responsible for what comes of them. As Val, I'll attend the funeral in an official capacity. I owe it to the Alexandria people to bear witness to their grief. I'd like it if you could be there to watch over everything. Or like you did all through the Right to Succession. Not sure if it's appropriate, but sure. I feel like the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others. So let us stand with you. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Galuja. We're in the back room. Oh no, we're going to the back room. No, they're going to put us in the back rooms. This is how they're going to punish us for doing this to Sphene. No! Like, why are you going to let them do this to us? Yeah, we're going to get... This is the punishment. This is where the back rooms has its entrance until the Olad Solution 9. Little did we know the crossroads was the entrance to the back rooms all along. Yep, we're toast. Yeah, we're toast, KZ. Like, they stick a fork in us, we're done. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances, I think it's best if Lamati represents us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When that work is complete, we'll finally look into installing new thrones. But to have Father's throne still here makes me feel like he is close by. Quite happy for it to remain for a while. That is still nuts that it just got sliced like that by freaking Zoralja. It's an EO? Oh no, which one was that one? Sai and Miyu and I, we finally beat the back rooms the other day. And we fell from the sky and landed smack into the pavement and got run over after escaping. I feel kind of gypped by that ending. Yeah, I need to learn to play this on my sax. Like, I love this theme. That smooth jazz theme just it makes me want to jam. Let's see, others. That's a Tural. Solution 9. Oh yeah, Star Trek. Yeah. What's up with it? They get an update or they get multiplayer? The Neon Stein? The Neon Bar? Okay, let's go to the Neon Bar. The backroom doorman. Mr. Doorman. You heading to the back rooms? God, we're heading to the back rooms. Survival-based trucking game? Oh. Like, oh yeah, I did see a friend play it. It actually looks like it's pretty fun. Oh god, the back rooms is already starting. You can hear the messed up music in here. Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on the forgotten funeral customs amidst all records. It appears to have been preserved by those who root the loss of culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We're grateful for their foresight. Galuja. Hello, little tyke. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part, though the others will watch over the proceedings. God, I cannot do her voice very long. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. She is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By the way of a treat, I brought you gâteau au chocolat. A gâteau au chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Amity, and thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. Expecting something else. I mean, this is Final Fantasy. Expect the unexpected. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the world used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Little does Kryl actually know. There you go. Yeah, direct hit determination. That's what we'll go with for food. Well, why did I feel like at a dance club, but the club hasn't started yet? Welcome to the Vibe of Solution 9, my friend. This affiliation has been added to the unending codex. Let's see what all this say. It's a relief to see that Galuja is doing well. I mean, he's been through too much for one so young. You ain't kidding about that. From a group that plotted to undermine the tyrant king from the shadows to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion has come a long way. Although I've been to the back... Oh no, Alphanote has been to the back rooms before, folks. He said it right there. Although I've been to the back room before. There was no time to see the sights. I should like to take a closer look at the equipment. Be careful, you don't want to fall too far into the back rooms. The alcohol, that's outside. We're in the back rooms. The bar's in the front. Yeah. Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral. So, we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. He may well have, or well, he may have. All the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold the funeral. It speaks to their enduring love for Sweden. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning. One of their number can better explain what the ceremony will entail. Very well. King Galuja. Alexandria mourns. Galuja wishes to go and collect his flower for the funeral. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Gosan. He was apparently Speed's aide, and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. Very well. One of those bars. Yeah, most of my bar experience has been from Korea, and they have different ideas. Welcome to the bar. I mean, I wouldn't mind a blue-haired bunny girl for a bartender. How good of you to come and see me again. You're always welcome to the Neon Stein, adorable. Whoa, she getting a little flirty. I like it. Oh, that's up there. Okay. There is my etherite. Boop. Go up to resolution. So, wait a minute. So it's since it's Oh, it's higher resolution. That's so, yeah, I see what you did there for Final Fantasy devs. Higher resolution. Um, one of the things about Final Fantasy's music, KZ, is they're all a variation on a theme. So if you listen to the opening music to Dawn Trail, you will hear this motif. Like, it permeates most of the music in the expansions. It's kind of like the recurring theme that binds the whole thing together. It, the month of tenants will surely help strengthen relations between the two nations. I get the strong impression that both Tuliola and Alexandria will wish to put this tragic past behind them. It makes sense that Sween had loyal aides such as Gasson, given how much time she dedicated to walking among the people. While it appears souls are still being issued, the supply must be quite limited now that they're no longer being harvested. The grim faces in the queue tell the tale. Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. All correspondence was being handled by the Wing of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Gassan. Here he is, Gassan. Thank you for the astute observation, Goluja. So the good thing about 14 is up until level 70 is absolutely free. Like, you don't actually have to pay for it. Like, that's a beautiful thing about this, as long as you got a free, or as long as you sign up for a free account. Why, yeah? Invaluable Clementa Tuliola. Thank you for extending an invitation to Queen Sween's funeral. We are honored, truly. I had seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I'm Gasson, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of the state. Can we get flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured, they are not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such tokens were black, it was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Alrighty, take care, dude. Have fun. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sween. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. Very well. Come on, quick, use the soul, Casey. Resurrect. Just kidding. Have fun, dude. God, there's so many people at her funeral. Like, literally the entirety of Alexandria, it seems like. This is eerily quiet, especially for a Final Fantasy cutscene.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen XIV brought us together.
There's more to it than that.
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us.
Remembering the best.
And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow.
You'll always be remembered.
Would that I could find solace in my own words.
That poor guy. But he's doing what he has to do, so I can empathize with him. Putting on a strong face, all he wants to do is crack. Yeah, I gotta wonder though, who is Goruja's mother?
Was Queen XIV taken to the cloud?
He's speaking to you, buddy.
To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, poor kid. He doesn't understand.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
It's a completely foreign concept to the kid.
What will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
Oh boy. This is going to be
What will
awkward
happen
for him.
indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
They carry on her legacy. That's how
I
it
still
works.
remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Oh boy, they are coming face to face with the reality of it.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
Not necessarily. You're giving up your way of life.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die.
And it's the
It
same belief they
could be the
share.
same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that.
You're gonna have to, kid.
I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
This is part of what it means to be alive.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit.
But well, you weren't wrong in this case. That's the same belief that they also have.
As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
They will in time.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad.
Yep, but it also gives you strength.
But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad. I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
I don't think so.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
Thank you, Kryle. That could have got really awkward having that discussion right in the middle of a state funeral. Someone definitely overheard that. I am 100% sure of that. Wait a minute. Why did it focus on the regulator? Something's up with them. It seems as good a place as any to continue our conversation. I'm not so sure about that, Kryle. Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all their problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. We know this, but they don't. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. No, you're fine, Galucha. Seeing that child reminded me of myself, of how hard it was for me to accept that my grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me the strength to come this far. And I would never choose to forget it. Never. I hope the altar can provide comfort for those who need it. Surprisingly shallow from Alphino. I would expect him to have the really deep thoughts on this. Nope. Hey, Lamati, let's wrap. Hey, Golusha, do you really know nothing about your mother? Okay, so they actually are going to dive into this question. I've been wondering this. Shale researched the system for information on residents, but the only Bambulja she found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. And that is a relevant question here. Like, what does Galuja want? I think so. Even if it makes you feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again, and if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want. Then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. Kyle! But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all is well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Welcome back, Casey! That sucks. I guess call it early night, I guess. Besides, if it's seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright, thank you, everyone. We're about to be in for a wild ride, I think. But I've been wondering, like, who, like, he had to have had a mother, unless they have cloning technology. We don't know about father too. I hadn't thought of that. If this was what Guluja wants, then I'll help him however I can. After all, we're family. I understand all too well Guluja's desire. For the longest time, I found my own father's actions inexplicable. If no records remain of Guluja's mother, then where do we begin our search? We can very much relate to his feelings. I pray Guluja finds what he seeks. In search of the past. Oh, looks like we're heading back to Mamuk. IDK? Yeah, IDK? EDK? I don't know. The Solution 9 music? Yeah, it is freaking awesome. I love it. Like, it's gotta be... Like, it's my favorite Zone music, and Charlie, it's my second favorite. Charlie, it makes me want to vibe in a cafe. This makes me just want to relax and chill. But assuming neither's memories nor records of Galuja's mother remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Right? If you can make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same here in Solution 9. Yeah, sure, they give me the largest area to cover. Oh my god. Raha, we're gonna have a talk after this. Fresh face Tanawata. Oh my god, I cannot say that. Tanawata. You're looking for a Mamulja woman? Oh, Galuja's mother. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little bit about Zorolja. And only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, Tural Vidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zorolja assembled a party of warriors and with them confronting the Feld Beast. It was interesting to hear the king's feat in the past. I'll tell you about a battle with the Tural Vidral. So... Oh, Chatty Chatona. Ah, hello, cutie. That Mamulja woman? The people have never been a common sight around here. Well, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. If she was among the entourage and Landsguard that was dispatched here, I assume they'd all returned it to the Yodal after their mission. But if any remain, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. A Mamulja woman. Village Tanawata. Sorry, never heard of a Mamulja woman living in these parts. Much was well connected to Zorolja. You might have better luck talking to people over at a Tanawatan settlement to the north of Everkeep in a place called Uayawata. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, so the story goes. If I remember correctly, the chief's name was Haniloka. Zorolja is devoted. And that is going to take me... I gotta go back to Solution 9. Back to Solution 9! And the awesome music. To the back rooms. Yes, we're going to the back rooms. Going to the back rooms. Revealed anything directly related to Galuja's mother, I did find some information that may shed some light upon Zorolja. Number T didn't seem that much. Like, how did you fare? Solution 9 is vast indeed. Even with the teleporters, we can cover but a small portion of it. Raha! There was a whole team of you! How could you not comb the place? Zorolja rarely made public appearances, so Vil had no idea how he spent most of his time. I believe therein lies the key to the answers we seek. Ah, you're back too! I told Shay all about your search. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find anything useful. None of the people I questioned had heard of a Mamulja woman before. Galuja told me we previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. Take a look at these. Ah, so you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all of our findings to see what conclusions we might draw. Okie dokie. So, Zorolja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yasulani, among whom was a female Mamulja. His mission was to rid the region of Tural Vidral, and I believe it is safe to say that the mission was the crisis he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed got trapped in the dome. We also heard stories about the settlement in Ueyawata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zorolja made regular visits. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would have been ideal. And if this Mamulja woman had remained there, they would have had an occasion to come in contact. I see, but what could Zorolja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zorolja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the King's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the King's jurisdiction. It was apparently between used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that's all we could learn. It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records... There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation, but large deliveries were being made to Ueyawata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though it is likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing. Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all this out. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal a little on its own, but when we put it in several pieces together, a picture begins to form. And even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. So, we'll begin investigating the secret facility in Ueyawata then. Gotta pronounce that. And this time, I want you to come along, Goluja. Ueyawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from Drift Downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. You get the feel this is going to go south pretty quick. This has got to be a dungeon at this point. Shall I? Make your way to the Drift Downs when you're ready. Kilusa will have a hover cargo ready for you. I get the feel that this is the dungeon. 100% this is the dungeon. Other side of the lake. Weapons developed in secret with the aid of devoted followers. Nothing good will come of this. I agree. The settlement in the outskirts, that was originally Matana as well, yes? I wonder if Yoyawata is similar to it. While the researcher we spoke with remembered that he had colleagues, he couldn't recall the details about any specific individual, not their names nor what they were like. It implies that they were uploaded. Someone would have noticed as Zeralda traveled from the Drift Downs, expecting he utilized a flying vehicle. You see how much has changed from the part of Yasulani that's on this side of the dome, almost like on the other. I don't need about to drop you off, just let me know you're ready to head back. So the Havoc cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. You see it inside the dome, so I don't expect it'll be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so let the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright, be careful everyone. Field station is now in the duty finder. Had a feeling to be a dungeon. Just had a feeling. And so before we fire that up, I will be right back. We are back. Alrighty, so let's see what we got. And now we wait for the old queue. He's good at hiding from beasts. Okie dokie. Oh. Oh, I like this. This looks awesome. Here we got the field station. This looks freaking awesome. Yeah, we got a bard, a warrior, and a sage. I like this combo. Meow! The dungeon! Come for a reason. I'm sure he did. Yeah, I apologize if they get really focused here in a boss fight, as I need to learn these fights. The beast here too? If it's been abandoned for years, that makes sense. And if my guess is right, first boss fight. Yep, there we go. I'm betting he does a lot of charging attacks. those. Reset and bam. Rotten Corehounds. That seems kind of sus. What was Roljai doing in this place? The rotten researchers, rotten hounds. What virus did this guy let loose in here? Rolling to the right. Oh, big brutes. Did he capture some Yakui in here? I think he did. Like, this guy... Like, okay, Zorolja is indeed a bastard. You let all this stuff happen. It's just wow. Holy crap. I cannot believe me and the tank did that. Is this a storm? Yes, yes, it is a storm. What was Zorolda doing here? Bro, what are these things? And boop, there goes the rock. So it's a 705. That is an objective improvement. There we go. Now we're back in the rhythm. So I cannot believe that me and the tank soloed that last boss practically before we duoed it. I think that's a testament to the insane ability of freaking warrior tank. There we go. And now the final boss, I'm assuming. Wait. A bunny calls to... Whoa! Okay, that's no average bunny. The Chural Vidral, the Lunipiat. The lunatic bunny? Is that what this thing's really called? Because it looks like a lunatic bunny. That ain't good. Okay, this is definitely an interesting boss mechanic. Okay, so I'll admit my thoughts on this is that is a pretty interesting way to set that up. I'm guessing we're not getting the floor back. Now that is a clear in match. Wow. Now we get to see what else is lurking in this island. This place seems pretty freaking interesting. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Why did I get 2 commendations? I didn't do all that good. But I guess I did better than expected on the second boss, especially.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
Huh.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility.
People soul? Oh no, making animals out of people?
The
What the
Vidral
frick?
explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject.
It seems like
Though
it's
I
rather
expect
tired.
Zeralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
It does seem like it's rather aggravated. Why the echo now? Oh no! Not right in front of a not right in front of a Tural Vidral.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
Zeralja really sanctioned this?
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
I get the feeling he didn't sanction this.
Very well.
Well, he did.
Volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
This is wrong. Like, sacrificing people just to get more powerful beasts? That is wrong on so many levels.
So, you've given him permission?
Teishalja, you will assist Kaniloka.
The shield job.
As one of the Landsguard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments.
Oh
You will
boy.
also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me.
She was not happy with this
You
decision.
object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable.
She didn't really want to do it, you can tell by the
I will do
voice.
as you command.
But not
But
willingly.
if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
You wanted a child.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours. That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
I would say the Halo Elites are a lot more cunning and devious, but the two-headed Mamulja, they're a little bit different. They are formidable.
Are you all right?
Yeah, go ahead. I had a vision of what happened here.
Teishalja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubigo women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishalja there.
That's where we're going next, then.
Very well. Let's move out. So we know a little bit about his prospective mother, at least. And she wanted a child, and he was the only one capable of giving it to her. So I guess that explains how the Hubiko child was made. Now the danger is behind us. It started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. Hard to believe it used to be a village. That you should be able to peer into Turel Vidral's past. Wonder what that implies for the beast's consciousness while it was sealed away. Oh boy. Well, it was a running joke to start off with. Your character is technically a mute, like in no uncertain terms. It wasn't until I want to say Stormblood. Well, I don't know. No, it was Heaven's Word that the character's choices actually started influencing dialogue a little bit. And you could be or sassy, mournful, or you could choose to be silent in most cases. In my case, I chose to be sassy, or in a lot of cases. It seems Kaniroka was in charge here. When you were counting, he was quite dedicated to Zoralja. The villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned Turel Vidral at Zoralja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of the souls. Ishalja, you said her name was? I wonder what her story is. Guruja? I wish I could see into the past like you, then I could see people who are gone. But because there aren't any other Mamulja women here for a long time, I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliyollal and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I could see what she actually looked like as well. Tongue, piety, battle dance. Yeah, quick arm. Let's go with quick arm. Actually, you kind of can be. He just like, nope, I don't want to be or part of this. Like, you're a real nice guy, aren't you? Like, guarantee you, I feel safe party. Maybe Sabotage Trust. Yeah. Tyrol Vidral. Part of the Unending Codex. Is it alright if I go around by myself now? Oh, the danger's behind us. Oh yeah. Kryle? Kryle is eager to begin searching the facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain afford us great insight into what came of it. Let's take a round for information as well, whereas way to the upper level. Oh, right. This is the dungeon. And man, it looks like some of this got wrecked. Guja? What happened to the people here? Did they all leave, or did we already meet them? What was left of them is more accurate. Alpha, bro, what you got? I think the people actually volunteered the souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zoraja so absolute? I mean, observing things as they are. It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, and find the key. Wrought iron gate. The little thing we see behind the wrought iron gate is sturdy as it appears. The gate will likely resist our attempts to force it open. Security panels here, but perhaps the verification key will open the way. I'm gonna guess down this way, considering you haven't been down here yet. Probably maybe sees by like, hey, get rickety, right? Well, you kinda can, in some instances. And, a character named Yustola tells another one, basically, like, come back when you become a man. And he just completely crushes this guy's pride, and he towers over her. He basically just like, nah, you ain't my type, bro. I wonder what Beck Lug would make of this research into transferring souls. I'm kind of scared what Beck Lug would think. She was already pretty sketchy about that kind of research. The research is likely moved between upper and lower levels. Perhaps you can find a key amongst their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. Yeah, it makes me a little angry too, but nothing can be done for it to Lamati. Test subject's journal. And the recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Souls transferred a few days ago. I can write good, yes? I am good, very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today, bit off-handed feeder. Cannot help it, so strong. Hungry, always hungry, cannot control, eat. I must eat, am eater, must eat. We find nothing that resembles a verification key, that is information we do need to know, though, because that seems like it's rather important. Yeah, they transferred the souls into the beast, and they became the beast. applies to the staff neatly arranged account. One of the various items is the manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing yes to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find the verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. And they are still test subjects. Oh no, there are still test subjects in there. Wonder how long they've been sitting in those tubes. You found the key? Great, I'll call the others. That talking about that one crushing that guy's pride? Oh yeah, it happened. I'll send you the cutscene after stream. It seems that the key can be used to operate the lift up as well. Up we go. Oh boy. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far. Didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valigarmanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right, then. Let's see if we can find some clues about Guluja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. There's so much data. I don't know where we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Ishoja. Skynet Turbo? Yeah, we probably should kill it, but I'm not in charge here anymore. This little guy's apparently taking charge. Ah, it brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Ishoja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. You know, question nothing. So much technology in a world with wizards and stuff. You have no idea how weird this actually is. And this isn't even technically the same world. It's actually a different one, technically. It sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted. Even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back rooms and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer to the storage device I brought. This little guy came prepared. Holy crap. If he's got storage devices, he's got thumbsticks and external drives. My goodness. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for meeting me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was fruitful adventure for the both of us. Yeah, they are very technologically advanced. Though the main world had a pretty advanced technological society, but they collapsed because they had infighting. And then there is some alien technology also in the mix. Yeah, it is a hodgepodge how they put all this together. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Yuiatwata for the Tural Vidral. He wanted its power, no matter the cost. I'm glad we could find what was sought in that abandoned facility. Kiliusa is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. Probably. I admit the Tural Vidral gave me a bit of a fright at first. Then I remembered who felt the mighty Valley Garmanda. I'll not soon forget our visit to that facility. It was a troubling reminder to me of the depravity that can arise from the belief that the souls are simply a resource to be exploited. Yeah, Casey, Final Fantasy is it's a very diverse environment, to put it lightly, in the literal sense. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shane. Agreed. We should probably get out of here pretty soon. Let's see. The Solution 9 into the back rooms. We're going to the back room. And boop, the Neon Stein. I want a Neon Stein, so I can drink a beer out of it. Oh, like an area for you to have to Rasputin. Yeah, we don't talk about Rasputin here. And we definitely don't want him to get a hold of Siva. And into the back rooms. We're going to the back rooms. Geode, you found some information on Guluja's mother? You lot never cease to amaze. Having spent some time in these harsh environments, I feel that I have a better understanding of how much a steady presence of speed was to a people. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. Guluja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. I've been thinking about it may behoove us to learn how the various devices failed throughout Alexandria. Yeah, better late than never, after all. It was Shale who gave me the storage device for you. She said that we probably need it, and we did. You came prepared, little guy. I gotta give you props. I think it will be in good hands with Shale. Welcome back, Guluja. So to give me the data storage device. It looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alice and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. The mood is a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. KZ, I would love to tell you, but I don't know either. The album hasn't come out yet, but once I find the album, oh yeah, that's the Solution 9 theme. I don't know the exact name of it because the album isn't out yet. Don't drown the cat. Let's not be hasty, X. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Think you'll see you again soon. And I'm guessing that's the end of 7.1. Oh, the guidance to Hestal. Oh, we're not done with the... Oh. Geode's concern is writ plain upon his face. I'd say isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliola. My brother is doing all he can to see the Jacques Tural Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. No! Why? I don't want it! Oh my god. I haven't fixed it. Oh my god. Oh, you make it cost more? No, I haven't. I've been busy doing everything else. Oh my god. I really should put a cooldown on that too. I did not understand the lesson. How's it going, Diane? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Is the head pad broke? Oh no, don't tell me the head pad's broke. Oh. Oh, it had a version update. No! It didn't even proper. I'm sorry. I did not. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive the cat. I think it's working now. Hold on. Let me make sure. I think. Maybe. Kind of. Sort of. Oh, there it goes. It's working now. Meow. Is it Robert? Still make things decide easier? A lot before it's back in service. I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Connor seemed reluctant to make promises. But while she is working on the data, we can go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shiloni Station, and make sure to keep Connor informed. Okay, I thought we had to go to Yasulani, but nope, we gotta go to Shiloni Station. Yep, and we are. And now we're in the wild, wild west. Operations are still suspended. We've been trying to remain optimistic. It's good to see you looking well yourselves. I filled Kona in. He asked that we continue to support Alexandria as best he can. Yeah, so we went from an upscale, technologically advanced city to the wild, wild west. Only in Eorzea. Oh, resolve and Ray to boot. What can I do for you? We were hoping some good news about the railroad. There's an increased number of people looking to return to Tyrol that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Val Reason is also on his way to work to take stock of the situation. Speaking of the devil, scratch the on his way. He changed his garb. No, I gotta poke fun of it a little bit. Did a little budman finally outgrow his clothes? Stop that. As you will know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. That zone was a solution 9. You hear about the railroad too? It was in part for my stake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamati has explained the great urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back on to our original problem, how to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mewahetosan, or so on. God, I cannot say half of these names. Ow! It is the Ronik. Though the Hestaro that followed them were none too pleased about this, or Hestos being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quiet the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the track. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the rail routes plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're getting that so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people in Stalin or for their insight. Oh, sweet! There, I'm glad you found it, Gazy. Meow! As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Histara have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. No, it's okay. It's going to be out on an album pretty soon anyway, Casey. If you know the proper name of it, I mean, it's fine. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting the leader, Watto. The rest of you can accompany us to Star and Kemet if you like. So the vows of, oh, and now you get to see something else in the same zone. That's going to be even less sophisticated. Essentially, a Native American style encampment. Maybe it's like inside the dome. I visited the Yasulani once when I was little, but I can't imagine it's the same now. Because it's not. As committed as the Hisara are to tradition, they are amenable to the unfamiliar, or so am I told. To think, oh, this can be packed up in a moment's notice to follow wherever the Ronik lead. While prior to visit, Histara was also in railroad business. Pray they do not take us for trade enthusiasts. Zone music is not going to spoil you for the story, I can tell you that much. Unless you listen to specific boss fight songs, then that might run a chance of that. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp, but what brings you all the way to Mewahetosan? I thank you for seeing us. A visit concerns a matter of Jacques Tarot Railroad. See, we must rebuild it, but we don't want to ignore your plight with the Ronik. You too have noted the Ronik's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Septo, has been looking into this matter. Geppetto? Normally, we'd expect the Ronik to keep to their favorite grounds nearby for a while yet, And despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing Pariona and Yaltanan. Yet, they refuse to keep where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards your railroad. I certainly see no cause for unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, you should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Histara would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Histaro descent. My parents traveled with the Ronique as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by nomadic lifestyle, I'm forced to assume. Well, he's facing his past too, it seems. The chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper until the Orlaw's markets, and that is where Donson found me, and then adopted me. I had already been in the place some time when Amati came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her from that suffering. As a tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I've never heard of the Roni choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Histara willing to leave their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following their footsteps that I might make a better excuse for their actions never much appealed to me. Even if those same footsteps might help you understand the Ronique. As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with his sorrow way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor dawn servant indeed. Please teach me of the Ronique and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of historical culture with me? I should like to approach this with a fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. And it is settled. You'll learn more of the Ronique and we'll have a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. Gorna? My knowledge of the culture I was born into is from written accounts alone, and few of them at that. It would be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants as we once did with Gulul Jaja. So Gulul head. Yeah, I think that is just the funniest way to name the Mammut. So whatever their name is, followed by head. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I am not the most experienced, I am ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That is all we ask. Take these tools. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. We'll be happy to teach each of you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later and share what we planned. Okie dokie. I probably should level up my professions at some point. I am so far behind on that. Think about the historic way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your off, let me test your powers of deduction. Find answers much easier to recall later if I arrive myself. I have surprised something that we use in medicines. Well, this is so drive away pests, CFRs. What is it? The materials will be permanent. I really hope it's not dung again. It's it's a story there, but that is indeed. It really was the wow. Why? What is the obsession with? What is the obsession with poop beyond fertilizer? I do not understand this. Please enlighten me. We discovered myriad uses for running chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hystera always provides. Like, why is it always poop when dealing with a Ronick? Are they literally pooping magic or something? This will do. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle and sinew. Here, will this help? Oh, these are precisely what I need. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronique kind they're made of is durable enough that we generally need. Don't worry. Wow. Casey, why did you eat the Taco Bell? Like, why? Bleh. Oh no, another Ronique. I'm afraid I finished with my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, I'll tell you about our migration customs. If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronique are our Hesto, our guides. That we travel with the turning of the seasons, we trust them to lead us to fertile lands, or with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits in two, bound for different paths. On this occasion, we throw us apart with half of our number. You may think of it as a strange, stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us revisit new lands and broaden our horizons as people. This too is the wisdom of the Hesnal. So occasionally they split up. Interesting. Oh, I went the wrong direction. Oop. The ruffled Ronique. You're helping them. Why don't I show you how to gently care for Ronique's cook? Go ahead and run your fingers over it gently now. Okay. You know, the meat portions are shaggy and tangled. As this fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Why don't you go give it a try? You need the right tool. Just maybe a comb of the type you used to, because it wasn't tangled like it's not. What about this one I was given? Ah, Shepepto sent a Ronique brush with you, did he? How like him now, just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. Why am I at the fur? You dutifully brush the Ronique until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with the coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have now acquired a new coat of their own. Well done. With less excess fur, our fur will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat, and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries should the need arise. I still got the other dungeon to do too, but I might do that a little bit later. Right, what have we learned? What have we learned? You smell the grass and the wind. Which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us. You even look the part. I have to wonder how Valcona is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Indeed it is. Ah, there he is now. He looks rather at home, doesn't he? Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with a grazing Ronique and ended up rather far afield. Found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination to force us back to the trail. It seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? We could treasure almost a family. Indeed, the Ronique provided for the Histaro, and in turn the Histaro are good to the Ronique, just as family should be. Mine is not the only way, though at times I like the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might not be, or might be right does not mean that it is wrong. Yeah, it's a unique mammoth to this region. Each region kind of has its own variation of certain types of wildlife. And these guys are more like, I guess you could say like elephant buffalo mix, I think. They said to me, so I wonder if I was not so selfish and act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Tyrol, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially when the Hestos are concerned. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Valcona. You're welcome among our herd at any time. Let's see, crit spell. I guess determination would be the better for me in this case. Then none of it's particularly good for my stats. Kona appears to loathe to part from his Ronique companion. You gotta go home, Kona. You can't stay with the buffalo. Kona, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hestal. They nourish the Histaro as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronique are sensitive, though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale. They must ever be free to follow their instinct and seek the lands where they might thrive. Star would never cage them, never should we. To control their migration patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then, it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Ronique's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronique, but even the birds and the field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceraptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with a natural disaster, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Histara would surely put two and two together were the cause geological. I measured the areas either to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest the recent environmental disruptions, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. Yeah, I would say, what do you think, Kona? Like, I would think probably a large animal too, but that doesn't seem very likely if it's moving slowly. What do you think, Kona? Given where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast. Predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had taken a bite out of its tail by something with very large fangs. Could it be the Turuhestal? Turuhestal? A Ronique Reaver in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hesto in the night is another evocative one. Ronique can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Tristal. Their scales are as tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and it's packed both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronique's consternation is clear. As is our next move, we must drive this Riva away that it might return to the grazing lands in peace. So basically we have another Tural Vidral to go after to make sure that these guys can stay at their usual spot. Never fear, we will make certain the beast threatens you no more. Why is it always a big beast? Why can't it just be like, you know, like a crystal or something that we just pick up and move? The road Nico Eva is a much clearer threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running in search of it without having made a proper preparation. If others return from across the plain have spotted it, maybe they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Oh, it's an encounter. Alright, let's go. Meow. Let's go.
Help! Help!
Has thought our traitor.
Duderhetsu is coming this way!
Duderhetzel? Well, let's get going.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We
Then
can
let's
assist by
move.
helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Let's go. Time for battle.
Make haste. We must protect the Ronek.
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
Please let me move. Meow.
There they are! They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
I'm trying to pet the word wait. I'll try to botch your day. Okay.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers.
Okay, I'll hydrate. Thank you. Poor Onique.
The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind. There must be something up ahead. Come!
All the hunters. Okay.
There!
Lost a check. And
These are no match for the likes of us.
Coda, you're a machinist. You ought to be doing a whole heap more power than that.
More are coming!
Alright, here we go.
All or nothing then. It seems that did the trick.
Get out of here. You need to fall back.
For the father, at least. But where's...
There we go. Now the big guy. There it is. Whoa. This guy looks like he's gonna be a fun fight. Let's go.
scales and wicked fangs.
I think that's our tour of it, bro.
And no mistake.
There! That one there!
Let's go save it. Let's go. Kona, don't be foolish.
Not so fast!
Oh no. His glasses got cracked again. He's got bad luck with his glasses, man. Though I feel that pain so intimately. As that happened to my glasses a few times, and it sucked.
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the Hetso!
You're not alone, Kona. Bink.
Kona, are you all right?
I mean, he probably could now with Solution 9. Let's be real.
Concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
Ronik, please.
You've nothing to fear.
And it walks off, even though there's a freaking thing trying to eat it like 5 foot behind it.
Right. Let's finish the job.
But you never ask. Machinist, a warrior, and a reaper.
To our people. You shall plague them no longer!
I really hope his right eye is his dominant eye, because if not, he's going to be a bad shot. No, let me move.
You'll find the power of reason is not without resolve.
Damn it! Not even a scratch.
It must have a weakness. I will find it.
If there's one character I actually trust to analyze the situation, it is going to be Kona.
have to keep it in. Quit thinking, Kona.
A protected current of ether. But whence does it flow?
I'm glad you do, Kona.
One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and
I hope you got a good shot there, Kona.
you're done for.
Man, can't Machinist get a sniper rifle, please?
That's stem the flow of protected ether.
Nothing's stopping us now. Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
In fairness, this is a Turol Vidrol we're fighting here. They're not exactly known for being calm or a passionate beast. Hello, Serena. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. I will get to my chat here in just a moment. Whoop. I think I got them all. No, not more of these. Got it. Aha. Woo, there we go. Watching a Zeppelin appears. Matsui is a guy. I do recognize one of those names. The rest of them, I admit, are unfamiliar to me currently, but I'll definitely check them out. So, but still, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really glad YouTube or put me or it's such great company. I've been so far. I'm really enjoying 7.1 though. I definitely have some thoughts on the expansion overall, but I definitely like how 7.1 is coming so far. So are they? I really hope he fixed Koda's glasses. I feel really bad for him having 2 shattered sets.
Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
At least that's also a problem with the Hesto in the train.
For your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetzo.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty.
Don't be that modest. Come on, Kona.
The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
I would say that's a pretty good balance of approaches.
You've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now.
Yet here we are. Another one
I'd
down.
come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni-Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
But now you ain't got to worry about this one. Nope, because we took care of it.
Lozeni-Hetta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
And now he's curious about his past.
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetzo!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Rodek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast.
But he really kept going, didn't he? Holy crap.
Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
Likely his parents, who are now one with the earth.
What became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
It seems like...
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself.
So now we know. His parents died a heroic death, saving him and him and the tribe.
All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe.
Maybe he had the wrong idea all along, and now he realizes...
I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am Dawn servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect. As my parents protected me.
You can't protect everyone, but you can definitely put your best effort in, Kona. Alright, let's see what they all have to say. My family, they need part of ours. You're telling that you do it a Hetzel look easy on behalf of the Hetzel. I thank you. We certainly got what to be bucket for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum. I can't imagine how Colin must be feeling right now. That Riva, you don't suppose it was the same one? To know that Hetzel is safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them we also avenged my parents? It is the least I owe to them after all this time. Ray, thank you for standing by me. As Dawn Servant and as the often perfect man beneath that mantle. Now, let us return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the rodent strain from the favorite grazing and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. I think we can do it. Let us return to Shallow Knife Station and begin work on it then. Oblika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. Oh. Wow. So it is not often you see a male Hrothgar. But I could definitely say I've not seen too many of them. Oh, and there we go, maybe. Boop. She will be ready in no time. Huh, I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacements outside of the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. Oh, I would. I saw you, Kona. You went through at least a half dozen, just in Yaktaral. A variety of artisans from across Tyrol have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Kona proposed. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it? Yeah, you could say that. So, the Rodnick were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Val Kona's not too bad himself, what with his whistle idea. Sit tight, we'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. Sit tight? Yeah, we'll sit tight. And we'll keep our shirt on. All right.
Whoa. She looks as good as new.
It practically is new.
To do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort.
Get just enough of the energy
From the
to...
ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
And with
You and
crystals.
your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly.
Not to mention the crystals from the
ethereal
Tural
whistle's a
Bidral.
true marvel. And we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
And they can get back to work. And that is something you can't put a price on.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
Don't ask me to drive it. Don't ask me to drive it. And there we go. I wonder how the... Oh no.
There's a Ronak up ahead.
Why is it a low Ronik or Ronique?
Now, to test our whistle.
Oh, so this is the...
Just point it in the general direction and...
And they're like, oh, we might want to move.
Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
So it worked exactly as intended. Sweet. Okay, so the reason that whistle was designed that way is, one, they didn't want to disturb the local wildlife, and that just kind of fit the perfect balance of not disturbing the local wildlife while keeping the track clear.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like.
I'd say this mission successful. I would say 100% mission successful. Now they get back to work.
Permission, vow of reason. The Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Then all they got to do is just go in and or come back. That's it. And people can go to and fro from Solution 9, no sweat. We'll look at them a little closer here in a second. Yeah, anyone will be able to go or from the dome as they please. Can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria. Okay, so they weren't invisible, but we didn't have the camera directly on it. Well, we were kind of looking from this side, I think. We'll get an airborne look here. Okay, so the tracks weren't invisible. We just wasn't on the tracks. When we were next to them. Ernville. I expect that with the Reaper gone, the road will gradually return to their old habits, and we won't see so many approaching the tracks. It is good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people at Jacques Perrault or Rayleigh can take it from here. The folks there at Valcona brought in to help rebuild the railroad have already returned home, but I hope we can give them a ride someday. For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shalona, then the continent. Watch out, Jacques Terrell, here we come! I share the sentiment, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. It just driving a car in the wild. A flying car at that. You know, technically that one's not from this Final Fantasy, it's from Final Fantasy 15. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamati. What do you think, Arabelle? It won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take that train journey to Yassilani together. Crossroads. Never one to stand still. Uklamat is ready to race back to Alexandria. Yeah, let's bring this to a close and raid out. I think this is going to be the last quest for 7.1. And then we got the side quests like the dungeons and all that. Well, I suppose it's possible that Chalet's made some headway by now, and regardless, we would spread the word that the railroad service has been restored. Chalet, what do you have her working on? Guluja's mother? I'd feel the same with issues. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There is no cause to look at me like that. The Kakwika we met may only have been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. Aw, and he's got one of those on his back. He's got a keychain of the robot she used there. Aw. Well, no, we ain't done yet. I didn't search for what she left behind because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be raiding today, to be perfectly honest. I think this one was a dungeon, and I think next patch is a trial, and probably an expansion to the raid. The teeny tiny Kakwika? What? No. It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it was as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Aww. Yes, well, you're out of the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time, see if there is aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. And Crossroads, back to Solution 9. Oh, And ether. Back to the Neon Stein. Okay, speak glad I'm not breaking out the Fall Guys mount. And yeah, they did a crossover, and one of the rewards was a Fall Guys mount. Was he exhausted? Shall I nip out an energy tonic? So Zarolja was conducting secret research in Iwayata. I must have some memories of that place. There's some memories of that place from my childhood. I'm glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Vilchai or here waiting any longer than necessary. Looks like we arrived at a good time. Ariel is wearing his kakwika. That makes me happy. Like he's wearing his kakwika. That just sounds so wrong. But why is he always wearing that backpack? That's gonna make me scratch my head. A simple yet elegant solution, and thus the railroad is back in operation. Meanwhile, Chalet is nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us imminently. Istola! Yay! I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Istola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in Sky Deep Cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert in electro, I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. Can I join you once we finished here? Lest you fear, I've forgotten. Once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be my next subject of scrutiny. Wait, you stole up? Come on.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Teishulja herself.
Also, I actually get to hear her voice,
While
or
I've
rather...
not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
Poor kid.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
So I actually get to hear her voice, though no idea what this is going to be about.
My name is Teishulja, and I've decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Hmm?
Mother?
Well, I mean, this is an encrypted, recovered audio file, so it could easily be explained by just or having to go through like several filters.
Officially was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatch to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region.
But...
Or so I said when requesting special dispensation.
Oh.
In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life.
So she accidentally ended up here.
I found myself trapped within and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoranja?
This is gonna be interesting.
I admired him. His incontestable strength. His unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew.
But yet, she wanted it anyway.
The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire.
To have a child.
Today. It should have been today. The beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him. Surely that would be enough.
Not for Zoranja.
So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Oh, this poor kid.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't.
Man, this poor kids get traumatized by this.
No. Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me.
He knows the truth.
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all.
No, he wasn't surprised. He was startled.
We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
Poor kid. Like, is he really ready to hear all this?
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
So you probably put him in the drift downs for safekeeping.
Happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
That's still a
Hey,
lot for the poor kid to
Gulcha,
take in.
I'm fine, Lamachi.
No, you're not. You can
Father
tell.
and mother, they were both so lonely.
Man, poor
If we
kid.
could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah, this kid's already figured some stuff out that adults haven't figured out yet. Holy crap.
I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. But yeah, my mule bro. I feel bad for him. Okay, the writing in 7.1 definitely got better, but better since 7.0. Because that is just tough. What a mess. If the dome had not appeared, the Shelter's tale would have been very different. Yet whether or not she would have been happier, I can't say. I find it hard to believe, but until the right of succession, the Rojar was a good brother to me, always. And I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think of the time we spent together as a family was a lie, but by the same token, the bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now that I do, and I don't regret it. I have Lamati and Kona and you. I'm not lonely. Tishalja had lots of written records as well. Compiled them for Waluja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. No matter how brave a face Waluja puts on, I expect it will take time for him to come to terms with this. He is a strong one, though. You needn't worry too much. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Tishalja simply wanted someone to know how she felt. To understand. Very possible. It's better to know. Profound response for someone so young. Leave it to you to make that observation, Uryastrola. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Waluja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It's fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Chalet. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. I doubt that's her whole story, but you had it because you were brave enough to listen, Guluja. If you remember one thing, remember that. King Guluja. Hard to believe he's head of state right now. Or even as a kid, he is head of this place. Like, he is the head of state. Now then, having shared what I can with the President, I'm ready to head living memory. When you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies along the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. I get the Oh yeah, there is way more to the story, KZ. Way more. There's going to be probably 2 or 3 more patches at least. Do you have a word before you leave? Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back, but the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many to the Yola were eager to reunite with family and friends. Maybe they're concerned about getting through the Vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Lado 9. Ew, bugger. It seems like we got a lot to go. I wonder how many requests are left in 7.1. let me see how many quests we got here. Let's see. Oh, that's not helping me. Oh, let's see how many quests we actually got left in this. Oh, we're actually on the final quest, so we're going to go ahead and finish out before we call it a night. And we're going to enjoy the music. Let's go! Hard to believe this is an entire city. God, this place is beautiful. I wish we could explore more of it. Tea? There may be people still gathering in practice park. Let's try that first. Okie dokie.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Feels like there might be some discontent going on here.
Have you heard?
A bit of an uproar.
Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
Oh
The
dear.
Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
Oh dear.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
That's how things happen sometimes.
But
They
we'll
are
be
not.
fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have
Oh,
no memory
boy.
of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware.
Oh, they don't know how to handle this.
To any of us.
They really.
What are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die.
Okay, easy for some context. Those are called regulators, and they're basically like if they die, a soul charge revives them. So it's kind of like an AED, but it brings you back to life no matter what. And they kind of treat souls as a commodity, where we see it kind of as a unique thing for each person. They just see it as a resource, so that's how they've been using it up until now. And because of that, when someone dies, it plucks the memories of that person out of their brain, so they have no idea who that person is. So it's like they never existed until they get to another place called Living Memory, which was shut down. So death to these folks is basically a foreign concept, and they're just now coming to terms with the fact that they're actually mortal.
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the society that it's foreign concepts to us, just like our ideas are foreign to them. No, there is no possible way. That is a fraud. There's no possible way.
What?
Help, Queensfiend! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
Something is not right here. Like this is not Sphene.
Sphene is gone. Forever. You there,
He knows
Jocelyn.
something.
You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about?
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of bull manure here we're going on right now because we killed her when she launched an attack on Tuliyola.
You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria.
Something is not right here. Something is very wrong. Because that is how we started the expansion. It was a state funeral.
Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Something is very wrong. I'll have to play along for now until we understand it.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed?
Yeah, they definitely got plucked, but what's really disturbing here is, like, why is she back? She was the final boss, and her program was deleted when Living Memory was shut off. Something ain't right.
This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with Living Memory shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution. All of us shall be made endless.
What?
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like.
That is horse manure, and she knows it. What is the scheme?
Stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all.
Now it's starting to make sense. That technology was not... It's been tampered with. Something is not right with these regulators.
One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I'm glad she said it, but I think we should have laid low and just observed.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
No, you're not. Don't do it, look.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Holy crap, true character growth. She actually realized that this was not the time or the place to freaking start swinging. But that is not Queen Sphene. That is some... Is that an Ascian? Oh no, that has got to be an Ascian. She's an Ascian. She's gotta be. Like, something is so not right. There's not to report yet. We have all lives and years out, never keeping heritage found. Sphene was erased that she's back. Then, are the Endless? Nope. Seriously, what was that? I am betting she is an Ascian. And that is just like a guise that the Ascian is taking in order to more freely move. He's returned how? I don't know exactly, but the Ascians in the past had a habit of taking over bodies, and I'm guessing something similar might be happening here, or through the systems of Solution 9. You saw Sphene Rise? So it wasn't someone else. Yes, it was someone else. We've heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumors spread through the district like wildfire. Without the Miso terminal, how does she propose to create New Endless? We must contact you still as soon as possible. I agree, Alphino, but 7.2 is going to be quite interesting if this is how they're setting it up, because none of this fits the established story so far. Like, something is wrong. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about the neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It could have been Sphene. She should have. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Miso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandria devout witness presented with an identical figure claiming to be the beloved queen, it is no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. But their memories were altered. That was different. Like, what is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in their honor, as if their memories have been erased. Because they have been. Like, something has tampered with them through those regulators. Given that memories of oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason in that guise, even if someone suspected deception. Most of Alexandria will be on her side. We will need to find out who she really is. agreed, and I have my suspicions that she's an Ascian. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Termination! Meanwhile, in living memory, we might get some clues here. Let's go. What the heck? If she stole the...
Where am I?
What the... What the heck?
My people. Are they safe?
Is that the real Sphene come back somehow? He stole it?
Why am I...
What? Are we about to have two Sphenes here? I can only assume she... In fear of death, the people turn to the Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Okay, and with that, MSQ for 7.1 is done. I'm glad we got it done in a single night. We will come back later, probably to do the other expert dungeons, but I will definitely say this is doing a better job of getting me invested in the Dawntrail story than Dawntrail proper did. Because now I'm wondering how Queen Sphene, quote unquote, has returned. And if that was the actual Queen Sphene that we just saw in that epilogue. Because I get the feeling that if there's more than one Queen Sphene, that is going to definitely cause a lot of issues. Man, it's so many questions now. Yeah, I'll definitely have to put a YouTube video together on my thoughts about Dawntrail specifically. But yeah, you're right. We need more. We need to know what happens here, but we have to wait for the next patch. So that ain't gonna come any quicker. We gotta wait for the next patch, and this is only a week old, so we probably got about 2 or 3 months. So it's gonna be a while before we get the next patch. So, but with that though, it is time to raid out. So let's see who all we have online. Let's see, Pixel's playing Baldur's Gate. Yeah, they were gonna pass it off to our good friend Pixel Kitten. I know she. I just had. I know she was just here a second ago. Where is she on my list? Where is she on my list? Ari's still doing awesome, but there's Pixel Kitten. Yep, we're gonna pass it off to Pixel Kitten, awesome friend of the channel. And she is playing, it looks like, Baldur's Gate. So we're gonna pass it off to her. Yeah, Pixel Kitten. Yeah, I forget. Absolutely love her to death. She is freaking awesome. And why did it not copy? Copy. And But, oh yeah, she's awesome. Like she is an awesome friend of the channel. But we're gonna go rate her for the night and close this out. And copy and paste the appropriate one. And with that, I will see you all Wednesday night. Or yeah, Wednesday. So good night, everyone.